I'm Zelda Keller. Welcome to Secrets Laws of Attraction.
Hello and welcome to Secrets Laws of Attraction. Today I want to talk to you probably about a very familiar subject, and that is, why do they leave? I'm going to amend that and say, why do they always leave? Why is it when I get into a relationship that I'm happy and they're pursuing me and they text me daily and they talk to me, they want to see me, and yet in the back of my mind I know it's a matter of time before they get tired and leave, and then they do. I text, I call, I write, and then the next thing you know, we meet, we go out on a couple of dates, and they either ghost me, or they tell me this isn't working out, or I'm not really looking for anything to commit to. And then I'm brokenhearted. Does this sound familiar to you? If it does, you're not alone. It is a very common thing nowadays because people feel that they have a much broader ability to find someone. After all, with the help of social media, there's so many singles out there looking for a relationship. The problem is, a lot of the people that are looking for a relationship don't know when they actually find that right person. But what happens in that time period when you're so happy and these people are pursuing you, and then all of a sudden you give in, you fall in love, and they're gone. Now, all the while, you keep saying, well, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. It always happens. Or you may hear somebody say, well, you're just like all the rest. You're just like all the rest. You don't have any staying power. You're just like all the rest. And yet what happens is you meet someone else, and it's through social media, or it's through a person, or you may even meet them randomly. They like you. They want what you have to offer. They love what you have to say. And then you meet, you go out, and then they decide, it's not what I'm looking for. I want you to know that the problem is not with you. The problem is within you. The first thing that we must understand during this situation is this. How much time in the beginning do you use to focus on someone else? When they're chasing you, when you want to be with them, when they want to be with you? Probably not as much. Probably you get distracted easily. You're not sure of this person. Maybe what you're doing is you're not really focusing on them, and you're focusing on yourself. But what happens when they chase you and they catch you? Then you start thinking, I really like that person. And you start looking at their social media. It's what they call the 3D reality. You start looking at 3D reality. You start looking at them all over the internet. And then you start seeing where she may be followed by a lot of men, or he may be followed by a lot of women, or they may be followed by a lot of people. And then you start wondering, well, am I the only person they're talking to? Or are they going out with somebody else? Are they sleeping with somebody? Well, I'm going to find out. And then you start obsessing. Where was he last night? They didn't call me. Are they going to call me again? Oh, really? Are they going to call me within 24 hours? Do you see how the tide of this battle changes? When in the beginning you were almost aloof, and they were chasing you, and you were focused on yourself, and then you changed and you put them on the pedestal. You put them higher than yourself. You would not go out because you wanted to wait and see if they were going to ask you out. You would not stay on the phone because you wanted to see if they called or text you. You woke up early in the morning to see if they said good morning to you. And if they didn't say good morning to you, you would say good morning to them. And then when they said good morning back, you would start to be upset. How dare they? How dare they say good morning to me and nothing more? Do you see where this is leading? You start becoming obsessed. And listen, we all go through this. Every one of us have been through this. Then the obsession starts. Now, I want you to know what happens during this time. We are all connected through frequency. And if you want to use another word, let's say psychically. That's right. We are all connected. And the fact that you met this other person, you are now connected to their vibration, to their frequency, to their energy. Subconsciously, you emit a frequency of desperation, of need, of upset, of worry. And that is a turnoff to a person on the receiving end. And I know you've been on the receiving end before. I know you've had that person who has been almost annoying, contacting you constantly, wanting to know where you are, where you're going, what you're doing, who you're with, who you're not with, where you are, what's going on this next Saturday, where were you last night, I tried to call you. And you start getting turned off because it's too much, and rightfully so. Now the tide has changed. And you're the person on the other end. You're sending. And subliminally, can I say that word? Subliminally, you're getting that message to that person. And that person starts to back up. In the meantime, you now start blaming yourself. Why does this always happen to me? Why does this always happen? I can't stand it. I don't want this anymore. Fine. Fine. I won't want another relationship again. And 5 minutes later, are they going to call me again? Are they going to text me again? Are they going to see me again? What's going to happen? Are they seeing someone else? And God forbid if there is someone else involved, because that makes you real that much harder. Have I painted this picture correctly? I know I have, because I've been there. And I know that some of you might be there in that position, in that circumstance right now. I want you to step back and take a breath. I hear this constantly. And believe me, it is painful to go through. And it is painful to see someone go through this. To put the ability of your happiness in someone else's hands. Does this sound familiar? If they would only text me this morning, I would be so happy. And then they text you and it's not good enough. Then they text you and it wasn't what you thought they would say. And then you get upset. But I want them to call me now. They text me and I want them to call me. So then they call you and they don't say what you want them to say. And then you're upset. Well, if they could just see me, I know that they would change their mind. I know I'm the total package. I know they'll want me if they just see me. But all the while, you're emitting that pheromone of desperation and need. And if you think that you're not, you are. Because sadly, a person can pick that up. So what do you do? Why do they leave? What do you do? Because first of all, it is overwhelming for someone on the other end. It is too overwhelming. You've been there. You must realize how that feels. So you're now in the position where they've left, or they don't really want to quite close that door, and you know that they're going to be contacting you again. First of all, if you're wanting a relationship, this is something that you have to disclose up front. Before you even get started with somebody, in all fairness, for them and for you, I am looking for a long-term relationship. If that's what you're looking for, say it. Don't wait until you get into this weeks on end, and then all of a sudden they say, well, I just didn't want a relationship. I just want to hang out. I just want to see what's out there. I don't really know what I want. That becomes more hurtful because now you're starting to like this person. And even though they like you, there has been a miscommunication. Up front, they would know immediately, and you would know immediately what you need to do. And that is, you are not in a position to change anyone's mind. If they're not ready for a relationship, you have to disclose that up front. You have to ask up front and find out where that other person is. That's your number one. So number two, let's say you're into this, all right? And then someone walks away from you. Oh, I'm just not ready yet. But I do want to hang out. I do really like you. What they're saying is, you have a vibe of someone who wants to be in a committed relationship. And they're not connecting with that vibe. That's not the vibe that you had in the beginning. The vibe you had in the beginning was this carefree, someone who was focusing on themselves and having a good time and laughing and loving and enjoying life. And then all of a sudden, you became serious and intensely serious. And then all of a sudden you feel in order to keep this person, you have to have very delicate texts, maybe even a few pictures. And that sends a completely different message. So backing up, now this person is no longer texting you, writing you, not in your life. And now you're flipping out, you're freaking out, you're brokenhearted, you're alone, you're desperate, you're looking at social media, you wonder what happened. You call me as a psychic, you call other psychics, you don't know what to do. Well, you do nothing. Because I want you to know, if you contact that person in the middle of this time, they're either not going to answer you, or you're not going to get the message back that you want. It is best not to. As a psychic advisor, how many times have I gotten a call that basically says, oh, you're gonna be mad. I did a thing. Well, first of all, why would I be mad? I don't have a vested interest in the relationship. If I'm advising you not to call or text someone, that means not to call or text someone, and that is for your own good, not theirs. But I'm not going to be mad. But what it's going to do is harm your reality. It's going to set you back a few more paces, and you're going to have to start over. That is desperation, to text somebody and say, what happened? What's going on? I don't understand. Well, really, sometimes nobody understands when this happens. So the best thing to do is take a breath, back up, and be that person that you were when they first met you. That person that was focusing on themselves, happy, not caring, and sending out a message that you had more to give than whatever meets the eye. Because I want you to know that that person, 9 times out of 10, will come back to you. And if that person comes back to you and you turn into the same person that you did the first time, they will leave again. And the chances of them coming back are probably nil and next to none. That's why it is always so imperative to focus on you first. And if you are dating someone, and if you are going out with someone, and you ask them, who is the most important person in your life? If they say you, there's a problem. Because you want somebody who is so serious that they focus on themselves. Because that's exactly what you are doing. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's a strength in that relationship. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not room for you or anyone else. It's the same for you. You must focus on yourself. Why? Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of other people. And that's biblical. When you get to the point in your life when you are just humming with vibration, and you are on a good frequency, and you're running at a high frequency and a vibration, believe me, God's universe will move people, places, and things to drop down that person that is supposed to be in your life, and he, she, they will not leave. But it's only when you focus on yourself. You see, with the laws of attraction and the laws of vibration, you can have the perfect harmony in relationships, in money, career, home life, harmony, happiness, contentment, all of those things. But what it takes is you focusing on you. You are the most important person in this equation. So that if a person looks at you and says, this is not working for me, you have to say, good, because if I'm not working for you, then I don't want this. You have to be very strong and not give up that part of you that is just allowing someone to wad up your feelings and throw them away. Because then you're left with an open heart and a broken memory. And that's something that you don't want to deal with. And if you're dealing with that now, the best thing for you to do is stop looking at all the loving movies, stop looking at all the social media that this person is on, stop asking other people to start looking at social media because you don't want to. Stop trailing that person, wondering what happened, and you need to work on what happened with you. How did you lose yourself? How did you give that part of you to someone else to be able to dictate your happiness? That is an unhealthy relationship, and that is a relationship you do not want. And if that starts happening to the point where you feel you're not going to be able to function during the day, if someone doesn't say good morning to you by 10 a.m., if you feel that you can't function or go to sleep, if they do not call you and wish you a good night, then there's something wrong. If you're expecting someone to wish you a good night and they haven't by 8 o'clock, you put your phone down and you go and have fun. You go watch a movie. You go do your own thing. Because here's what happens. You will disconnect that needy desperation from the vibration that that person is feeling. And the whole idea of this is that they will start missing you. And they do. And they will. They will start missing you, they will want to be with you. They will want to find out what you're doing, and they will contact you. And when they do, you be happy and you be busy. And you be paying attention to you. And they will chase you all over again. And if you give in with the desperation and the upset and all of those things that you demand in a relationship that you feel will make you happy, then you need to step back and take stock of what's happening, because they'll leave you all over again. You now have that ability to be able to be solid in yourself. And when you are solid in yourself, they will feel it, they will see it, and they will want more of you. So if you're going through this right now today, the best thing for you to do is back up. Start focusing on you. Start focusing on your career, your money, your education, your happiness, your home, your wealth, your health, and a very healthy mindset. Never give anyone the license to make you happy or not. That's not what it's all about. You must find your own happiness. This is all about you. And when you start vibrating on this frequency, there will be no shortage of people coming to you. There will be no shortage of money coming to you. No shortage of opportunity. And you will be able to pick and choose. So remember, this journey can end if you break that cycle, if you end that hamster loop of going over and over and over again. And it's a very simple solution. And that is, my darlings, you. You focus on you, and you will be in such a great position that you will not ever have to worry about if there is someone to make you happy again, because there will be an abundance of that happiness coming to you. I guarantee it. You work on you. And I want to thank you so much for you being here. I know if you're listening to this message right now, then you were probably supposed to be listening to it, right? And you may have to listen to it again. But don't forget to write things down, work on your subconscious, plant those seeds within yourself, and it is never too late to start. Never. You can do it right now. I want to thank you again for being here, and I want to thank Psychic Secrets for giving us this platform today. And my little Benji, if you just heard her, thanks you too for being here. So you be well and you take care, and I'll see you next time on Secrets, Laws of Attraction. Happy manifesting. Bye.